Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have one project for you tonight. I just got home from the dentist, taking my husband to the dentist. Haven't even eaten, so I thought I'd jump on real fast and see if I can get this done. Okay. So we'll see if I'll give you a couple minutes to jump on, and then we will get started. Okay, I'm looking a little crooked here. Let's move this back a bit. Too much. Too many treat boxes I've been working on in the way. Let's get those out of my way so we can have the room we need. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? I hope you had a lovely day. All right, let's see. Hope I don't make anyone sick. Just trying to get this all in here, and then we'll wait a minute or so, and then we'll get started. I've got the oven preheating so we can cook dinner as soon as I'm done. Good. I'm glad you had a good day. Yeah. So we're going to get going here. I just have one project because I did just get home and I haven't eaten dinner, so got one, and I had another one designed for you, but I cannot for the life of me. I used the dies last night and now I can't find them. So I'm going to have to figure out where I hid those because they apparently didn't get back where they belong. And they disappeared. So I'm going to have to figure out where I put them. They should be right in front of me, right? How much time do we spend wasting looking for things that should be right here? And it's a stamp set or a die set that doesn't fit in a stamp case, so I can't have misplaced it in a stamp case. So anyway, all right. Well, let's go ahead. It's 7:04. Let's go ahead and jump. Get ready. Get going here so I can eat. All right. So in addition to the heart-shaped bundle, this is a celebration-free item with a purchase of $120 or more in the U.S. So you get the stamps, the photopolymer stamps, and the dies for free. And they are currently on back order, but they're scheduled to be back in next week. So hopefully that stays the same if you haven't already gotten them. But if you do, then look, you can get started on this project right away, and I think you're going to enjoy it. We're also going to be using the Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper from the January to April 2025 mini catalog by Stampin' Up. So we've got that. We're going to be using this. I kind of thought I would make some treats that were a little bit more, I don't know, on the masculine-y side, but then they turned out not to be so masculine-y. So it's okay. You know me. I just keep going. All right. We're also going to be using the heart sequins. These are these are in the online exclusives. They released in November. And let's get started. So from this stamp set, we're really only going to be using 2 stamps. And I'm going to make mine a thank you box rather than a Happy Valentine's box, but you could certainly take one of these other messages. My heart loves your heart. My thoughts of you are all heart shaped. You could do something else or pull in a happy Valentine's Day from the Hearts and Hugs. No, not Hearts and Hugs. Hugs for Love. That's what it's called. Hugs for Love stamp set that I used last week. Okay, so let's get our supplies and get going. Hello, Mary. Oh, I'm glad you just received that heart-shaped set. You can make these boxes right away. We're going to start with a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock, and this is cut at 4. Is everything going good? I just had a message that said waiting for a live signal. So hopefully we're not. I think I might be having some internet issues, and those are about to be fixed. So yeah, I'm changing my internet provider here shortly. So anyway, 4 1/4 by 7 inches. Okay, let's go ahead and get out our scoring tool, which is right behind me. And we'll take a stylus. I'm going to score this on the 7.5 inch side at 1/2 inch, 3.5 inches, 4 inches, and 7 inches. And then we're going to rotate clockwise and score on the 4 1/4 inch side at 1/2, 3 1/4, and 3 3/4. Okay. I designed this box to fit 2 of the Ghirardelli heart chocolates that you can get right now at Costco in a big bag. So, okay, let's go ahead and fold and burnish on all of our score lines. Okay, so let's get those. I always like to do my long skinny bits first. Okay, now when you're looking at this, the 7.5 inch side, this is the width of the box, and the 4 1/4, this is the height of the box. So with the 2 score lines at the top, oops, I didn't fold and burnish on this one. Hang on, let me get that done. Okay, we're going to take our paper snips. I'm working on the inside of the box because that is what is easiest for me. And I'm going to cut up on the first score line on the large rectangle. And then I'm going to, oh, I don't know why I'm angle cutting. Never mind. I'm going to angle cut on this large rectangle toward the cut I just made and remove that corner. Okay, I don't need that. And then up here, I'm going to cut on the large rectangle and angle cut that. And then I'm going to remove these 2 sections from that. And that leaves us with our side glue tab. Now I'm going to rotate to the top, and I'm going to cut up on the large rectangles and remove the score line. And I'm going to do that on both of the large rectangles here. Okay, and yeah. So now I've liberated this tab. I'm going to go over here to this and do the same thing. Cut up 2 score lines on the large rectangle. Okay, then I'm going to fold these out of the way, and I'm actually going to remove this section next to the glue tab clear down to that second score line. Just going to cut that off, and this is going to become the back of our box. Okay, now I'm going to take these, so my little tabs, and I'm going to remove the score, cut at the first score line and remove the score line completely. I'm going to do that on both those tabs, and then I'm going to angle cut to make that a flower pot. That's how I heard that described one time, and it kind of stuck in my head because it kind of does look like a flower pot when you angle cut those tabs. Now I'm going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to cut up on the large rectangles to remove the score line. And then I'm going to angle cut to make the flower pot and my glue tab. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, cut up on the large rectangle, remove the score line, and angle cut both of the square sides. Okay, so here's what we have. Then we're going to take a corner rounder. Any corner rounder that you have will work. And we're going to round the corners. This is an extra step. It's not an absolute necessity, but they tuck into the box better if you put in that rounded corner. Now you can hand round them yourselves. You could put a little bit of an angle cut in there. You just don't want to get it too big because this is what's going to hold your box lid closed. Okay, now we're ready for our designer series paper. So let's go ahead and grab that out. And we're using that timeless plaid. I've got 2 pieces that I've cut at 2 7/8 by 2 5/8. And I have 1 piece that I cut at 3/8 of an inch by 2 7/8. And that's going to go here, and I'm going to see if I can match up that pattern. Not so much. I'll do the best I can. Okay, I'm not going to put tear and tape on my sides, my box sides. They're so thin that I'm not going to worry about it. So let's get our seal. You could, and if you were going to add designer series paper to those box sides, you would want them to be 3/8 of an inch by 2 5/8, because that's the height here. Okay. So let's just add these on. I'm going to try and make sure that that pattern lines up there as best I can. You're not that particular, of course you don't have to worry about it. Nobody's probably going to notice, and this little scrap is not going to line up, so it's okay. It would if I had turned my paper the other direction, but I didn't. So here we go. So we've got that on. Now, because I've got my designer series paper on, I'm going to go ahead and put my finger tab in, and I'm going to take my stylus, and at 3 inches, let's see, is that going to go? No, it's going to go. Okay, I need to do 1.5. So I'm going to do 1.5. I'm just going to put a little mark there with my stylus tool. Then I'm going to take a 3/4 inch punch. You can use whatever you would like. This is a retired punch, but you can get them on Amazon or at your local big box store, probably. Okay, so now we're ready to put this box together. Let's bring in the tear and tape. And first of all, we're going to put our tear and tape right along the score line on the plain cardstock side, and put some tear and tape right there. Burnish that down. I'm going to flip this over. This is the front of my box. So I'm going to put tear and tape at the front of my box. Some people make this the back of their box, but I like a clean back with no, or a clean front with no cuts into it. So I do mine opposite. You can do yours however you like, whatever makes you happy. So I've put tear and tape on the long rectangle here and the two rectangles here. Let's bring in our take your pick tool. Remove that backing. I'm going to fold this one over on the second score line from the right, and this one over. I'm going to trim that just a tiny bit. It's just a tiny bit long for some reason. I'm just going to cut that off so it'll lay nice and flat. Okay, so now fold on the second score line from the right and the first score line from the left, and then that should lay down nice and flat. Okay, and then I like to take and fold in my tabs, fold my tuck tab in, so I have a nice flat bottom to work with, and then I'll remove my tear and tape. Oh, I will if I can get a hold of it. Come on. I don't want to get too rough because they're pretty tiny little tabs and I don't want them to tear because they're kind of important. Okay. I only made this a 1/2 inch size box because the Ghirardellis fit in there great. So now I'm going to take, this is the back of the box and it has no adhesive. I'm going to fold in the back of the box first. Then I'm going to fold in my two side tabs. And then I'm going to fold the front over the top. Okay. Now I've got a nice clean bottom outside. And because I tuck those tabs in between the front and the back, I now have a nice clean bottom inside as well. So there's nothing for our chocolates to get hung up on. So I'm going to take 2 of my chocolates and I'll lay these in here. And I'm going to close up the box. And we're ready to start decorating. Okay. Let me get some of my things out of the way here. And let's bring in our decorations. Okay. So I've got a scrap piece of basic white here. And apparently I didn't cut the scrap piece of basic white that I needed. Or that, not the scrap, but the piece that I needed for this. So let me grab that real quick. This piece that I'm going to stamp on needs to be 2 5/8 by 2 7/8. Where did I put that? Pretty sure 2 5/8 by 2 3/8. That's what I need. 2 5/8 by 2 3/8. Okay. So we're going to cut this at 2. I'm going to cut this piece at 2 3/8. And that's the longer score just before the 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to cut this one at 2 5/8. And that's the long score between 2 1/2 and 2 3/4. Okay. So we've got that. Now I'm going to bring in my silicone mat here. And I need to have this in the landscape orientation. I need the 2 5/8 inch by 2 3/8 inch this way. Then I'm going to bring in my stamp from the heart-shaped bundle. and some no, not Lost Lagoon. Oh my goodness. That's what I did my sample in. I need Calypso Coral and Balmy Blue. That's what I need. And actually, I think I just need the Balmy Blue. We're going to do Balmy Blue. Yep, Balmy Blue here. Had to think for a minute, you guys. That's what happens when you change up your colors. Okay, and then I'm using this just so that I have a different colored pattern or a different colored background so I can really see where to stamp this, because this is it's a tight fit. And then I'm just gonna, okay, so we've got that. And we can set this aside. And now we're gonna bring in the Calypso Coral. And we're gonna do the word thank you. And actually, I'm not sure what color I want this to be, really. I might do, hang on. I'm gonna actually go to the Misty Moonlight. That's what I'm gonna do. Misty Moonlight. That is also in this pattern. I want this to be a little bit darker. So let me just clean off that stamp real quick. This part I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants because I made the box in a different colorway. Okay, how are we doing here? Hello, Laura. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Carol from Connecticut. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, Tracy. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we're going to take the Misty Moonlight and the word thank you. And I'm just going to stamp this right down here. Got my thank you. I'm going to fussy cut this. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw around here how I think I want this to look. Okay. And then I'll take my paper snips, trim that down, and then I'll just trim this out. And if you do the pencil, then you can kind of follow your line. Because once you start cutting, you can't go back. But if you don't like the way it looks with your pencil, you can always go back and erase it and try again. Okay, so there we go. We've got that. Now I'm going to take my eraser and gently erase anything that I left behind. Okay, there we go. We've got that. Now the other pieces that we need are die cuts from the bundle. And I have die cut the heart from the die set here. And this is what you get when you cut this. You get two pieces. So you can easily split this apart, and then if you cut it twice, you could put a piece of white or whatever inside there. That's not what we're doing today, but you can do that. And then I've taken the little foliage thing. I've cut two of these in Balmy Blue, and I've cut three of this flower die in Calypso Coral. And those are our die cuts. So We're going to go ahead and bring those in. All right. So let's go ahead and add our gold piece on to our stamped image here. And I'm just going to put a few drops of glue here and there. This is the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. It's a very good glue, and a little goes a long way. So I'm just dotting it. And then we're going to place this right over the top of the heart shape here. And this will line up perfectly with the heart image itself, the heart line. You're going to have the foliage behind it that's not going to line up perfectly, but you won't see that line behind it. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to press this down with a block just to make sure that it adheres well. And then I'm going to take this and flip it over. And you know what? No, I just need to glue it down. I'm just going to glue it down. A little bit of Stampin' Seal. And then we'll add this to the box. Like so. Okay, got that. And then we're going to take our little foliage pieces, and I'm going to just trim off the ends on both of these, because that's not what I want. Round that up a bit. And then again, I'm going to take just a little bit of liquid glue and add this right here on our heart. Oh, right here on our heart. Tracy, did I say hello? If I didn't, hello. Okay, so we're going to give that a press. Let it sit for a minute. And then we're going to add this one onto there. Just a little bit of glue. Overlap that a bit. Okay. Make sure that's good and solid. And then we're going to bring in a pad. Let's get our stamping mat. Right here. I'm going to grab my stylus tool. I'm just going to give that a little press in the center. Pop those up a bit. Actually, I want those to really stay, so I'm going to give those a good little rotation there. And then we'll grab our glue dots. And we're going to add a glue dot in the center here. On all three of these. And then we're going to take and put one here, one here, make sure that glue dot adheres. Give that a good press. And then we'll put the final one just off to the left of those. And give those a little lift up. This one is not wanting to stick, so let's grab our stylus tool. Give that a little press just to make sure they aren't going anywhere. Okay. And now we're going to add our thank you to the center, and I'm going to do that with dimensionals. I'm using the minis here, and I cut that one right so that everything fits. Yay! Okay, come on. All right, so then we're going to put the thank you right here. Make sure that's straight. And now we're going to bring in those heart sequins and grab our take your. Oh, I'm glad I did say hello, Tracy. I know, it's been kind of a roller coaster evening. I'm going to take a mini, stick it in the center of these two. Oops. Well, no wonder why it's not sticking. It doesn't have a glue dot. Oh, there, it left the glue dot behind right there. Silly thing. Okay, now we have the glue dot and it will stick. Okay, there we go. It's amazing what the actual glue dot will do for you, isn't it? Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to try a medium. This might be way too big. We'll see. Nope. I like it. That'll work. Okay. So there is our box. Okay. And again, that holds two of the Ghirardelli heart chocolates that are in Costco right now. I'm sure you can get them other places, but there's a nice big bag. And these actually will fit either direction, but I find they fit a little bit better here. Oh, and these creme brulee, man, those are good. I had to test one out today because the Costco guy said they were superb. So I tested them out. So here is the Balmy Blue and Calypso Coral box. And this is the box that I did earlier in Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, and Berry Burst. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm so glad to see you tonight. I wish I had a second project for you, but my stomach is kind of growling. I'm hungry, and I need to go feed my husband. So I will plan to see you back here on YouTube on Thursday night. And then next Tuesday here on Facebook, I think. Yep, next week my week is pretty good. So, all right. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you like those boxes. Thanks so much for your hearts. I see those going up. They look so great. And I'll see you soon. Until then, happy stamping. Good night. Thanks, Laura.